The mystery surrounding hidden tombs has enthralled ancient archaeologists, historians, and treasure hunters alike. Shrouded in mystery, these resting places offer a wealth of cultural and historical value in addition to the remains of the notable people they honor.
Deep within the rock, they buried him. In a tomb so dark, it would never come to light.
A number of well-known individuals have their tombs lost, including Attila the Hun, Khufu, Leonardo da Vinci, Vlad Dracula, Cleopatra, Mark Antony, and Alexander the Great. The stories surrounding their final resting places continue to inspire speculation and wonder. The Macedonian ruler Alexander the Great, who was born in 356 BCE, built one of the greatest empires in recorded history, spanning from Greece to Egypt and northwestern India.
Consider the glory that was Greece of Alexander the Great.
His legendary status was due to his military prowess and ambitious conquests. Alexander died in 323 BCE in Babylon, yet the location of his tomb remains a mystery. Narratives from history indicate that his remains were first transferred to Memphis, Egypt, and then to Alexandria. The location of his grave has never been determined with certainty, despite many investigations. Alexander's missing tomb mythology represents both the transient nature of power and the never-ending pursuit of knowledge about antiquity. An enormous milestone would be reached if Alexander's tomb was found. It would provide priceless insights into the life and times of one of the most significant people in history. Genghis Khan brought the Mongol tribes together and established the Mongol Empire, which he later expanded throughout Asia and into Europe. Genghis Khan was probably born in 1162. Conquering all of Asia, Genghis Khan brought the nomadic Mongol tribes together and launched the greatest land conquest in history.
Genghis Khan conquered half of the world in his lifetime.
The whereabouts of Genghis Khan's tomb remain a mystery, despite his enormous historical importance. It is said that in order to avoid defilement, his last resting place was purposefully kept hidden. Accounts suggest that those who attended his funeral were killed to keep the location hidden, and the site was trampled by horses to erase any traces. The culture of covert burials in Mongolia, together with the deep reverence and terror sparked by Genghis Khan's legacy, are all reflected in this enigma. For centuries, the mystery surrounding the whereabouts of Cleopatra VII's and Mark Antony's tombs has captivated historians. They were popular lovers during the late Roman Republic. Famous for her political savviness and intelligence, Cleopatra governed Egypt from 51 to 30 BC. She made her way through a challenging political environment and forged a strong partnership with Julius Caesar. Following Caesar's demise, she sided with Mark Antony, creating a strong power duo that put Octavian, Caesar's heir, under tremendous pressure. They committed suicide in Alexandria after their defeat at the naval battle of Actium in 31 BC, which confirmed their doom. It has never been determined where the mausoleum in Alexandria, where ancient writers like Plutarch believed they were buried together, is located.
That hidden chamber is the secret tomb of Cleopatra.
Although its exact site is still unknown, it is thought that their tomb is someplace close to the ancient city. Their tragic lives and the historical interactions between power and love are what have inspired people to search for their tombs for so long. Should it be found, it would be a noteworthy archaeological find that would shed light on these famous people's last days and the valuables they carried to the afterlife.
In the light of that demonstration, it seems appropriate to talk about Attila the Hun.
Lost to time is the tomb of another legendary warrior king, Attila the Hun, who devastated Europe in the 5th century AD. Across the continent, Attila inspired fear and awe by leading his Hunnic soldiers on destructive raids into the Roman Empire. He was already a strong figure, but his untimely death in 453 AD, apparently on his wedding night, added even more intrigue. When Attila, also referred to as the Scourge of God, died, there was a secret burial that took place. According to legend, in order to hide his grave, his body was buried beneath a river that had been diverted. The coffins were made of iron, gold, and silver. The story of the secret tomb of Attila emphasizes the terrible reputation he built, and the measures taken to guarantee his last resting place remained unaltered. Khufu, also known as Cheops, was the Egyptian pharaoh who commissioned the Great Pyramid of Giza, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. He was pharaoh from 2580 and 2560 BCE in the 4th dynasty. Ruling during the Old Kingdom period of ancient Egypt, Khufu's reign is synonymous with the power and ambition of the ancient Egyptians. While the Great Pyramid itself is a monumental tomb, Khufu's actual burial chamber, believed to be hidden deep within the pyramid's complex structure, has yet to be discovered.
There's a hidden chamber in the Great Pyramid.
Discovering it would be an enormous accomplishment, possibly exposing relics and treasures that shed light on the beliefs and life of this strong king. The mystery surrounding Khufu's tomb emphasizes the elegance and complexity of ancient Egyptian funeral customs, as well as their belief in a hereafter. Born in 1452, Leonardo da Vinci was a Renaissance polymath who profoundly influenced engineering, science, and art today. He was not a conqueror or a king, but his enormous cultural significance has made his ultimate resting place intriguing.
I trust you recognize the Last Supper, the great fresco by Leonardo da Vinci.
The year 1519 was the end of an era in his life, and his tomb, which is thought to contain his remains, is situated in the chapel of the Château d'Amboise in France. The whereabouts of his remains are still unknown, despite historical accounts indicating that they were relocated during the French Revolution. Finding the spot where Leonardo da Vinci is buried would be a momentous occasion, as it would provide the chance to examine his remains and possibly unearth additional information about this remarkable person. The ongoing search for Leonardo's tomb demonstrates how revered he is and the impact he had on Western civilization. Vlad, also known as Vlad the Impaler or Dracula, was a Wallachian king who served as an inspiration for the Dracula mythology. He ruled in the 15th century. The man, who was born in 1431, gained notoriety for his terrible practice of impaling opponents.
Here occurs the shocking and frightening history of the wild berserker Prince Dracula.
Vlad became known as Vlad the Impaler due to his horrific reputation and his use of brutal tactics to stop Ottoman expansion in his realm. It is still up for contention as to where his tomb is and how he died in combat in 1476. According to some reports, he was buried at the Snagov Monastery, which is located close to Bucharest, Romania. However, other accounts have his bones missing or destroyed. Finding Vlad's tomb would be a momentous historical find that might shed new light on the controversial leader's life and times, as well as debunk myths about his notorious legacy. The enigma surrounding Vlad's grave is entwined with Gothic horror literature and culture, mirroring the fusion of myth and history in collective consciousness. Beyond the mere finding of relics and bones, lost graves are significant. By providing priceless insights into the lives, ideologies, and customs of long-gone civilizations, they serve as concrete links to the past. There's a chance that these secret rooms will change the course of history, upend accepted theories, and reveal long-buried truths. The search for missing tombs is evidence of our perpetual fascination with the historical personalities who formed the world we live in, and our unquenchable curiosity about the past. They serve as a reminder that history is more than just a compendium of tales. Rather, it is a dynamic fabric woven with strands of enigma, fascination, and the timeless seduction of the unknown.